the biggest, loudest vocal critic of Donald Trump right now is Gavin Newsom, because he wants to run for president in 28, and he's doing something that on the scale is 3 times more expensive than Donald Trump. He's doing it at a state level, and Donald Trump is doing it on the federal level, and Gavin Newsom is 3 times more expensive, and no one cares. So I'm here with Elaine Culotti, and you know how they're making a big deal out of the Donald Trump spending around $250 million to put a ballroom on the White House. Well, way worse is happening here in California with Gavin Newsom and the state capitol. And guess what? They're spending over $1 billion, and they won't tell anybody how they're spending it, what it's for, what's happening. Listen to this report.
Construction continues, and so does the secrecy surrounding the California Capitol Annex project. Steel beams you see now will someday house the offices of state lawmakers and the governor. But exactly how much it will cost and when it will be completed is still to be seen. The Joint Rules Committee leading the project has violated the Legislative Open Records Act, refusing to acknowledge or respond to Case Area 3's latest request for its contracts with Turner Construction. The Records Act requires them to respond within 4 business days. It's been 29 since our request.
The Legislative Open Records Act actually specifies that it is a fundamental and necessary right for the public to have access to legislative documents.
Adjunct McGeorge School of Law professor Chris McCaley is also a lobbyist and longtime Capitol observer.
And again, disclosure of the taxpayer dollars that are being expended on this project certainly are appropriate for public disclosure. But I think one of the points that is being lost here is that this is the people's house.
That's not our only hurdle with the records requests. Earlier this spring, we requested a cost estimate on how much more lawmakers plan to spend on security measures in the new building. Nearly 2 months after submitting that request with no response, Joint Rules said they did not have an estimate. We also asked, with those security measures in place, what specific spaces will journalists have to work and access lawmakers? Joint Rules responded by basically saying the public's interest is better served if it doesn't have that information.
So this project is less transparent than some of the top secret military projects I worked on.
Dick Cowan served on the Historic State Capitol Commission before becoming a vocal opponent of the Annex project.
Doesn't our Constitution say something about not abridging the right of a free press? I would think they would be eager to share with you in the COVID era, in the terrorist threat era. Here's how we've balanced the needs of the press to have access to the government with these new factors.
The legislature has said it plans to update the public on the project at some point this year. They have yet to say when. At the state capitol, Ashley Zavala, KCRA 3 News.
And there's this. We also reported that broad non-disclosure agreements on the project have been legally forcing 2,000 people to basically keep information about all of this under wraps. And that includes several state lawmakers and government officials. And those NDAs are still in place.
They have a non-disclosure agreement to build an annex to the state capitol? What in the F is going on? Does that make sense to you, Elaine?
No. First of all, no. And another thing about it is that I'm sure that they're trying to have some security measures because there is a lot to read about the changes to this Capitol building for safe corridors out after the Capitol riots. So they made changes which increased the budget more. But more importantly, like, how do you get 2,000 people to sign an NDA when you're spending public funds? It's from the general fund. Unlike what Trump's doing. Trump raised the money to do it from, friends and whatever, fellows. And also 90,000 square feet.
Government favors.
Yeah, more government favors. He's 200 and whatever, I think it's $250 million. It'll grow probably. Maybe it's 300 million for 90,000 square feet new construction. This is roughly 350,000 square feet remodel with a 200,000 square foot addition. So it's a bigger project, but it's $1.1 billion to date, and it's not even close to done.
And they won't. Why do you think they're being so secretive about it?
Embarrassment.
Really?
I really don't know. I don't know. It doesn't. It's because I think they're secretive about how all money is spent that is taxpayer dollars on infrastructure and construction because they cannot do it. Case in point would be high-speed rail. We can pick a lot of other things. When bureaucrats are involved in building, there is too much red tape and they're always half-cocked and they can never get finished. Construction contractors, Turner or Tudor Perini or Donald Trump, who's a contractor, they know how to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They know what change orders mean and they can build things. But you can't let Gavin Newsom and the California bureaucracy get involved in building. This is what happens.
This is what happens.
This is what happens, and that's why.
Isn't it amazing that the biggest, loudest vocal critic of Donald Trump right now is Gavin Newsom because he wants to run for president in 2028, and he's doing something that on the scale is 3 times more expensive than Donald Trump. He's doing it at a state level, and Donald Trump is doing it on the federal level, and Gavin Newsom is 3 times more expensive, and no one cares.
And it's Donald Trump's is not taxpayer dollars.
Right. That's correct.
It's just, it's unbelievable. Like construction for me, but not for ye, you know, or it's like,
I'd rather the White House Trump's money be public because now the money he's going to owe those people favors. So, but anyway, all right, Elaine Culotti, anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Oh my gosh, please, people, please, from every mountaintop, vote no on Prop 50. This is immediately the most important thing. We'll fight the other fight later. Prop 50, no on Prop 50.
Okay. Elaine, thanks for coming on. Good to see you.
And good to see you.
Come see us in Australia. Second show's added in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. We'll see you in Burbank, California, the day after Thanksgiving. It's a Friday. And then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. Plus, January 11th, we're going to be in Waikiki at the Blue Note. Tickets not available yet for them, but go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the other tickets.